Hello! Here we review movies and talk about them. Today's film is 2017's Baby Driver. It's an action film following a young getaway driver called Baby. Baby owes a large debt to a dangerous man, and in the process of paying him back, ends up on a heist that's doomed to fail. Edgar Wright wrote and directed the film, which stars Ansel Elgort as Baby, Jon Hamm as Buddy, Lily James as Deborah, and Kevin Spacey as Doc. As always, the way this goes is, we start with the positives, then tackle the negatives, and finally I give a few closing thoughts on my rating for the film. Alrighty then, let's begin. The story is a flavorful, slow-burn drama with a bit of amazing action and simple crime. Baby, Doc, Buddy, and the rest of the cast are all colorful characters with nuanced personalities that evolve over the course of the film. Their interactions are wonderfully witty exchanges that go on just a little too long, but otherwise are very entertaining. Buddy is especially strong because he starts off as a very charming side character and becomes the antagonist after a tragic event. As a villain, he maintains the same charm, but introduces a lethal and brutal killer psyche into his repertoire. Jon Hamm eats the role of Buddy up and kills it on the emotional journey. He's cool and suave in the beginning, maybe even a little nauseating with his PDA. Then after the tragedy happens, he becomes a heartbroken mess. He's so charismatic while being incredibly intense. Personally, I loved the two scenes of him listening to music with Baby and how differently he played it both times. In both, he's connecting with Baby through music, but in the second, he twists the connection to hurt him more. It's a great scene. The rest of the cast does a great job of their roles too. You have Jon Bernthal, Jamie Foxx, and Eiza Gonzalez as crazy gangsters. Kevin Spacey plays a no-nonsense crime boss, and then you have Ansel Elgort and Lily James as the young couple in love. Ansel Elgort as the lead gets to do a bit more than most, but spends most of the film reacting and playing the straight man. He does a great job of it and pulls off a few hilarious moments. I laughed hard at how casually he did the sunglasses bit. The film also manages to fit in quite a bit musically and visually as well. The visual journey is clean and easy to follow and filled with big car chases, music video-esque scenes of Baby dancing and singing, and long one-shots of him escaping and moving through the city. If you like car chases, this film does it all. They use cars and trucks and pull off some incredible stunt driving, drifts, jumps, crashes, etc. There's also high-speed pursuits, and they even challenge themselves by transitioning into foot chases for a little while. Each one is a high-octane scene that's beautifully edited. Then you have a fun and catchy soundtrack behind it. It's made up of original songs that are hand-picked for every moment of the film. Each scene becomes like its own music video, and the movie as a whole almost feels like a concert. They match the music to the story, so often you get great mashup moments like Buddy firing his gun to the beat of a rock song, or Something Is Wrong With My Baby creating a chill when the group walks into Deborah's diner. My personal favorite was Buddy trying to run them over to Brighton Rock. Okay, there was a lot of good in this film, but there is some bad too. For instance, the story takes way too long to unfold and has just a bit too much flavor for how little content there was. It's a 2-hour film and the entire story fits onto 2 pages. They just spend too much time on flavor moments like Baby lip singing, the long conversations between the gangsters, and the love story. It creates this lull in the middle of the film where you aren't quite sure where it's going, but there isn't a great motivation to continue watching. You're just watching him have fun before the other shoe drops. There's also a lot of over-the-top coincidences that make the story feel a bit contrived. For example, the crew is escaping from the cops and they just so happen to find 2 other cars that look exactly the same as theirs. They then use those cars to pull off a coordinated move, and the other cars just go along with it for some reason. The film is filled with moments like this that are hard to swallow and make the story feel a little bit cheap. There's also one camera move they use constantly in this film that I absolutely despise: the spinning camera shot. What happens is they spin the camera around 2 people who are talking, and we're supposed to see their argument from different angles. What actually happens is it makes the audience dizzy, doesn't add any real detail because the camera is moving too fast for you to see anything, and it distracts from the story. Overall, I found Baby Driver to be a fun film with a great soundtrack, interesting characters, and some great action sequences. It isn't all that deep, and there were definitely a few lulls, but the overall production quality of the film is outstanding. If you like car chases and music, then you'll probably love this film. As for a rating, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Remember, these are just my thoughts on the film. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Bye-bye!